Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you would like more information about immigration, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel at tntvisa.com. If you would like more information about us and other immigration matters, you can find it at our website at www.tntvisa.com. You can reach out to us via phone at 305-433-7677, or you can email us at info@tntvisa.com. Today, we're going to be discussing other options for entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, you know there are ways for you to come to the United States. You can come through an investor visa, intercompany transferee, or potentially get a green card through the EB-5 process. If for whatever reason none of those apply to you, there is another option, which is the entrepreneurial parole. Now, please note, this is not a visa. You are not seeking a visa to the United States. You are seeking an actual travel document to be paroled into the United States. Now, what the difference is between parole and having a visa allows you to enter the United States and allows you to go back and forth, and it allows you to change your status while in the United States. So if you entered as a tourist, you can change to an investor status. But if you enter as a parole, you cannot change your status. You are stayed in that situation. So you're only allowed to enter the United States based on that parole. If you want to change your status, you actually go overseas and apply for a new visa overseas. So that's the major difference. Now, here are some things that you need to consider. If you are a serial entrepreneur and you do not have the nationality of a country that has the treaty to do an E2 visa, or you do not have maintain a company in your home country that you work for, and you're not going to willing to invest $800,000 into a business in the US, you can invest through the entrepreneurial parole and be able to work for the business that you invest into. Now, each business has to be a new business. What that means is that it has to have been in existence for less than 5 years before you invested. It also had to have qualified U.S. investors who have invested in the United States at least $250,000 into the business, or that it has a government grant for about $100,000. Now, to be a qualified investor, you have to show that the investors that have invested in the U.S. have invested in other businesses with about $600,000 in investment in the past 5 years into those businesses, or that the businesses have created 5 qualified jobs, or that the businesses that this qualified investors have invested in have 500,000 in income. So those are things that you have to consider. You only have to own 10% of the business. Now, you and 2 other foreign nationals can invest in the same business. So you can give up to 3 different people in the same business. Now, this entrepreneurial parole is only valid for 2.5 years, and it is good for your spouse and any child under 21, and your spouse will be able to apply for work authorization if he or she chooses to do so. Now, you can renew this for an additional 2.5 years. But remember, there are certain things that have to apply. It still has to be considered a new business, which means that when you file for the renewal, you have to show that that the business was in existence for less than 5 years. So if you're investing in a business in the initial aspect and it's been in existence for 4 years, you're more than likely not going to be able to apply for the extension through that same business. Other things that you have to consider is that in order for you to get the renewal, you still have to own the business, but now you can have sold part of your shares and only own 5%. You still have to have qualified investors, but now the investment goes from $250,000 up to $500,000. Now that can be a combination of investment from qualified investors or a grant. So let's say that you got a $150,000 grant and you have $350,000 investment from qualified investors, you would be able to file for the renewal. If you do not have that qualified investment, you can still do the renewal if you have 5 full-time qualified jobs, and a qualified job is considered a full-time job that was in existence for a year before you file the renewal. So you need to have those 5 full-time jobs at least 1.5 years after you applied for the initial entrepreneurial parole. The other thing, if neither one of those 2 things applies, if the business has created or generates 500,000 in income for the business, then you can still file the renewal. Again, this renewal is good for an additional 2.5 years. It applies again to your spouse and any children under 21. And once that 5 years is over, you are no longer entitled to this business to do an entrepreneurial parole. Now, again, this is something that you should consider if you are a serial entrepreneur, because you have to show that you do have entrepreneurial experience. It also is something that you need to consider if you do not have nationality of a treaty country and you cannot get nationality of a treaty country. So if you think that you might be able to apply for the international entrepreneurial parole, please reach out to us because it's something that we can assist you with. We can look to see whether or not you actually could use the business that you're investing into, and we can help you file the actual petition. Please reach out to us at info@tntvisa.com, or you can call us at 305-433-7677. Thank you again very much for watching. As always, if you like this video and want more information about immigration, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at TNT Visa. If you want more information about us, and if you're from a country that we may have a direct line for you, you can find that information about us and other immigration options at our website at www.tntvisa.com. Thank you again so much for watching. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a wonderful week.